And welcome back to the stream. Match play on now. Just realised I didn't actually put a post up, so I'm hoping that there's people watching. Who've we got playing against one another then, Williams 1 and 2. You've got Paul Moore versus Ray Teese. 3 and 4, you've got Stephen Gill versus Brandon Roberts. 5 and 6, Lee Cocker versus Rob Philby. Cocker started with a strike as well in that match. Then you've got Don Barrett versus Dan Harding right in front of us here. Chris Sloan versus Ben Robinson. Kevin Mellin versus Cy Bartram. Jack Saunders versus Hadley Morgan. And then you've got Taylor Williams versus Jamie Bottomley down on the end pair. Every matchup is a good game. It's probably only, well, match play, anything can go, but try for Chris Sloan to start. This one, Ben's matched him. It's going to be a good game, this one. Battle of the two-handers. Right versus left. We've got Kevin Mellin versus Cy Bartram on 11 and 12. Both started off with strikes as well. It's an open to start for Rob Philby on 5 and 6. And then can only get 9 to start. It was good 9 in all fairness. Could have easily been a 10-pin with that. Chris Sloan, 10-pin falls there for him. Single pin spare by Dan Harding there. Keeps him in the match. Pinfall across two games. And if there's a draw, high last game will be the deciding factor. Ben Robinson picking up his spare there. Strike for Don Barrett. Double on the cards. Spare for Chris. With 280 potentials for both Chris and Ben. Don potential of a 300 still in this game. Dan Harding 290. Obviously, only 2 frames gone, so potential still going to be high. And open for Cy Bartram on 11 and 12. Kevin Mellin's gone perfect through the front 2. No, he's a match play brackets Andrew, mate, so obviously winner of this. So I'll run you through how the brackets is. So on the left hand side of the bracket, you've got Don versus Dan. Jamie versus Taylor, so obviously winners of them play against one another in the next match. Then you've got Stephen Gill and Brandon Roberts, and Kevin Mellin versus Cy Bartram, obviously winner of that play. So that's the left hand side of the bracket. On the right hand side of the bracket, you've got Ben Robinson versus Chris Sloan, Ray Teese versus Paul Moore, Hadley Morgan versus Jack Saunders, and Rob Philby versus Lee Cocker. That's on the right hand side of the draw. Open for Chris in the 3rd frame. strike for Dan. There. Don Barrett's gone 9. Strike for Ben Robertson. Ben Robertson here, putting the pressure on Chris Sloan. Obviously PBA player in the past. Don Barrett picking up his single pin spare then on 8. Lee Cocker's gone front 3 in his match against Felber. Gonna be some match that. Chris Sloan bouncing back then from his open, gets the strike. Ray T's down on 1 and 2 against Paul Moore. So that's a 2-8-10. Paul's had a double as well after an open in the first frame. Another strike for Dan Harden here, showing his class here against the PBA star in Don Barrett, England's finest. Ben can only take 9 that time, bit heavy, bit on the nose side. Don Barrett, lovely strike. It's going to be some match this between Dom and Dan. Bit of a tap of the Rosen bag out of the pocket. Picks up his purple. It's a strike for Chris Sloan. Coming back now at Ben Robinson. Can Ben pick up his spare? Simon leans to 7 pin there on 11 and 12. It's a nice spare for Ben then on 9. Dan gets a good 9 there. It was really heavy. Was asking for it to probably hold a bit on the right hand side. Was inside on his shot. Don Barrett, will he capitalise? Yeah, we didn't expect anything else. Let's have a look at what's happening elsewhere. All down then to the bottom end of the centre. Rob Felby here right in front of the camera on lane 6. 9 for Rob. Leaves the 2 pin. Oh, single pin missed by Dan Harding on 7. And with the calibre of player that he's playing against, you need to make sure you're making your singles. Brandon Roberts versus Stephen Gill on 3 and 4. Brandon showing he's a 1-lane bowler so far through 5 frames. Can't strike on 4. I think your 2 quickest pace games are going to be your middle 4. With the 2 PBA players. We'll jump back to that camera when we get to it. Rob Felber. So taking his time on the approach. Needs something here against Lee Cocker, and he gets the strike this time. Lee Cocker's gone front 4. Obviously, it's total pinfall over the 2 games. So he's still got a long way to recover and have a fight back against Lee. Nine pin for Brandon Roberts. With Stephen Gill stringing them 3 strikes in the middle of this game. In between his 2 9s from first ball pinfall. Obviously he missed his single pin on the first frame. Spared it in the 5th. Gets a strike this time, does Stephen. It's advantage Stephen Gill in that game. But what a matchup. We're looking down on 1 and 2. Let's go over and have a look. Now we're looking on 1 and 2. It's advantage Paul Moore so far on 1 and 2 here. Single pin for Ray Teese. Spares it up. It's 118 for Paul. 94 for Ray. Paul's on a strike. Ray Teese on a spare. Paul very much in the driving seat in that one. Coming into the 9th frame. Here on 7 through to 10. Quickest pace matches. That one looks wide for Dan. As soon as the camera comes over, he waves it away. Nine pin in the 6 for Cocker. He'd gone perfect through 5. Dan missing his makeable spares again. 162 through 8. Massive uphill climb now with 2 missed makeables. And open for Chris Sloan as well. In frame 8 in this match between him and Ben Robinson. Ben making his spares. Oh, but leaves a big split now. And just opens that door a little bit for Chris Sloan. I'm a little bit wider on that one. Leaves the 10 pin. Looking like he's trying to hit somewhere around 8 to 10 on break point. He's done with that purple. Ben picking up the 2. 173 through 9 for him. 10 pin left standing for Dan Harding. Rob Felby not really got going. Oh, it's a great spare from Chris Sloan there on 10. Sparing that 3, 4, 6, 7, 10. Single pin converted from Don Barrett. the single pin is also spared from Dan Harding. Ooh. Dom going a little bit high, start the 10th frame. Not enough for ranking a lead in terms of the game 1, but obviously it's total pinfall through game 2. Strike for Dan in the start of the 10th. Can he pull it back a little bit here and go all the way out? Elsewhere then, as we come to a close in game 1. It's advantage Hadley in the match between him and Jack Saunders. That makes it 2 in the 10th frame now. Walks back, hand on the chin. Nine to finish. First game for Dom. Finishes with a 2:45, big game. That's alright, I can't remember actually. I'll get him off lead. Holds a little bit, that one for Dan. Finishes with a 2:12. So he's, what, 33 pins off him. 33 pins that he needs to catch up there. It's 2:03, plays 1:97 in the match between Ben and Chris Sloan, the battle of the two-handers. There's 6 pins in it between them two. Let's go down to the top end of the centre and have a look what's going on here as they come towards the 10th frame. It's in the 10th frame on 3 and 4 as well. That's what I'm on about. But the thing is there when in the 10th frame. We're there in the 10th frame, we can't be in 2 places at once. Strike to start for Ben, for Dan and Dom. In the start of the second game, let's go down there. Let's have a look. Let's put it this way, because 166 to start for Jack Saunders. Struggled first game. No, 186. He needs to get flat screens.
Yeah, everybody keeps telling him that. Bigger numbers.
They'll save him money on electricity.
Huh?
They'll save him money on electricity.
Yeah.
A 121 for Taylor Williams in the first game. And do you know what? Before they started, I said to Lee Chatfield, if it comes down to sparing on 15 and 16, you're saying Jamie Bottomley all day long. But if Taylor could string a few strikes together, then obviously your money would be on the two-hander. So it was going to be interesting. Taylor only 1 strike in this game. A lot of opens. There's what? Only 2 spares with that strike, and the strike was in the first frame. Jamie finishes with a 204. Hadley with a 237. 50 pins ahead of Jack Saunders there. You've got to say that Hadley's likely to go through. And the same's got to be said in the match between Jamie and Taylor, with Jamie now being 80 pins ahead of Taylor Williams. $238 for Kevin Mellin. All the way out for Sai, 182. Still 56 pins behind Kevin there in that match, so Kevin's more than likely going to go through in that one. You never know. You do never know. 80 pins advantage for Jamie on 15 and 16. You've got to say Jamie. Jamie's not missing spares. Unless he leaves splits. The thing is Jamie Bottomley's bad game is a 2-0, so Taylor would probably need to have a 300. But coming off the back of a 121, it is very unlikely. Yeah. It's the thing, and Jamie's just gone and shot 2-0 summit, I think. I can't remember what I said, and it's right on the far corner, so you can't even see with binoculars. Well, that's what but the thing is with Jamie, is you know, if Jamie's got easy makeables, he's gonna probably make him 9 times out of 10.
If he knows his shot, he's gonna stick to it.
That's it. There's a strike for Taylor though to start this game. Finish on a positive. Let's jump down here, catch the ending of this first game between Lee Cocker and Rob Felber. Lee Cocker with a 236. Rob struggled a lot. This game missed makeable in the 9th. Meant that he was on 142 through 9. Let's have a look and see what the first games were as well on 1 through to 4. $237 for Stephen Gill, plays against $205 for Brandon Roberts. Still auto play 4 and 3 and 4. And then 218 plays 202. Advantage Portmore on 1 and 2, but closest match probably out of all the matches on there, barring Ben versus Chris on 9 and 10. Portmore making his single pin spare. Closest matches. Ray and Paul on 1 and 2. Stephen and Brandon's 30 pins. Great Church left with Don Barrett here in the 5th frame in this match between him and Dan. It was It was 33 pins difference between them. Strike for Chris Sloan. He opened in the 2nd. So did Ben Robinson. Ben struck everywhere else. So Chris has had 2 9 spares. Slight advantage, Ben, so far. Dan. 3 pins taken for Don Barrett. Dan couldn't get the strike there on 8. But an open for Dom in the 5th. Could that door be creaking open a little bit between them? Oh, trip 6 pin for Ben Robinson on lane 10. That's a lovely strike there from Stephen Gill right in front of us on the camera. makes it a double on the cards in this the second game between these two. Advantage Stephen in that one, definitely. The 3-7 left from Ray Teese. It'd be a good spare if he spares it, keeps him in the match if he does. But with Paul Moore striking where Ray left the door open a little bit. Don Barrett widening his angle a little bit, leaves the 9-pin. And we know he might be a PBA star. But there's only one word when you leave a 9-pin or an 8-pin. And that is chins. Strike for Dan. Oh! Ooh! 2-8-10 nearly spared there from Chris Sloan. Might have inches away. Slams his rag down the one, the chair. He knows with that open in the 5th now, he's very much advantage Ben Robinson. One of the rising stars from England in general. 2 EBT results. Or is it 3 EBT results this year? Ben, light on that one. Gets 7, but a makeable spare. Can Dan here put a little bit of pressure on the PBA star? He needs to hold a bit. Holds well. Gets the strike. Does Dan hard in there. Alan Dom slightly off the mark on his last 2 shots. Off the mark again on that one. And he's Dom opening the door a little bit. For Dan Harding here. Another rising star from Team England. Nice spare there from Ben. Making sure he's still in the lead in this one against Chris Sloan. Making sure that Chris Sloan has to pull out something. Spare for Don Barrett. And that one looked like a nicer shot for a strike shot in all fairness. Strike for Lee Cocker. One of the ones that's running away with his match. Taylor again on 15 and 16, looks to be struggling down there. Couple of splits on the card from what I can see here. And Jamie Bottomley has stayed clean. Dan with another strike. Turkey for him now. How close is it in this match? He needs to gain 33 pins on Dan Barrett from game 1. Then couple of mismakeables in the first game might come back to haunt Dan. Especially in the missed 4-pin. Strike for Chris Sloan. Don goes wider, gets a nicer angle, gets the strike. With his rev rate, he was more than likely going to come back there. It's said that 72% of the world is covered by water. The other 28 is covered by Don Barrett's rev rate on the ball. No. There's loads of gifts like that all the time. Loads of memes like that all the time. Can Dan still apply the pressure here? He looks inside a little bit. Oh, 7-10 left. Glasses have come off. Didn't get the angle into the pocket it held. Like a Eurofame probably would in the oil. And with no flick at the back, because he was inside. The 7-pin trips for Don Barrett. It's more than likely going to be an open here for Dan Harding. You don't see the 7-10 spared that often. Misses both. Does Dan. Nice strike there for Ben Robinson. Still applying the pressure on Sloan. Barrett. The way that ball breaks as soon as it hits the break point is unbelievable. Dan Harding, he's fought his own, he's pushed him all the way in all fairness. But that last shot really has come to cost him. Mismakeables as well in the first game. There was at least 2. And there was 33 pins behind Don Barrett, and that's 7-10 in the 9th. Glasses are off. Thrown on the chair, it says it all.
3 and 4 is close.
3 and 4 is an incredibly close game, but Brandon Roberts is stringing strikes.
Yeah, he's down by about 30, I think.
Yeah, 30 pins.
Yeah, but it's close now, I think.
We'll cross over to it as soon as it's finished here. I mean, Taylor's out.
Yeah.
Taylor was out after the first game, and
I think Hadley's through as well.
Hadley was 50 something pins ahead of Jack. Same with Kevin against Sai. Although Kevin's got a 2-8-10 split here and Sai's kept it clean. Ooh, open for Chris Sloan. Another mismakeable. Sloan's out. Dom leaving the 7-pin. I think he is. It was last ball of the game. Dom goes through with 4. What's Dom had there? 481. I think he's had a 481. Dom against the 413 from Dan. Did push him all the way. In all fairness, when we saw that Greek Church left in the 5th frame, we thought maybe could it. 7-10 in the 9th really put any of them claims to bed. Interesting one that from Chris. Just puts 2 fingers in the ball and throws it. I don't see that as. It's a bit of disrespect to the opponent, isn't it? Yeah, he's had a 149 there. He knows he's got beat, but finish the game off in style and have respect for the opponent. For saying he's been on the PBA, you expect a bit more, don't you? No, I think if anybody's watched the streams before, they know I'm not thingy to a comment to no matter who the bowler is. In all fairness, and just sportsmanlike conduct. It's just, I think when he knew he was in 5-0 inside the cut in the qualifying rounds and he's throwing it back up, first game, shots high. Don't get me wrong, he had the shot there, but as soon as he shot that high first game, he went straight back to conventional, and it just felt like he was just, yeah. Is that Ben Robinson putting a little bit back to him? going for a 7 pin on his last shot there. Finishing with a 193. Ben Robinson going through on that one. 396 plays 346. So far 2 games finished. Ben and Dom through on them ones. Chris Sloan and Dan Harding out. It's close on 3 and 4. We're going to have to go over there and have a look, because this is an incredibly close game. Them string of strikes, but a couple of mismakeables from Brandon might see him out here, because it's put the advantage back in Stephen Gill as he's strung strikes from 6 through to 9. Oh, 4-6. 4-6 left for Brandon. 4-9. He was making it close, in all fairness to Brandon.
Yeah. I think Si's
Si's got a chance here. He was 50 down. He's pulling it back. If only he could put about 4 cameras on at once here, because it's coming close. That's what Matchplay does. This is what I love about Matchplay. Yep, that one definitely puts the nail in the coffin between Stephen and Brandon. Stephen Gill will go through on that one. How's it looking on 1 and 2? Has Rog made a couple of opens there on 1? Might be close here on 1 and 2 between Portmore and Ray Teese. Bold, mate.
Thank you.
And advantage has swung back in the way of Ray Teese here on 1 and 2. Oh, sorry, mate. I didn't realise you were right behind me. .268 for Stephen Gill. 203. What's that for you, Steve? 505? 505. Plays 408. Stephen Gill in mega form here. Played well in them 4 game qualifier and shoot at 505 in match play. I think he's on the left hand side of the draw as well, that match, so could come up against Dom soon. We'll have a look at. Let's have a look at who plays who. That's a close match, that one 1 and 2. Open for Ray Teese now.
The next matches will be city school, won't it?
I fancy Steve here, Stephen Gill, you know.
I always fancy a lefty.
Yeah, but played incredibly well in the 4 game qualifier, and he's just shot 505 there.
Still got Dom.
That's it. You've got Dom in the questioning, so. But who plays who here?
There's gonna be a lot of lefties
So
playing each other.
Don Barrett will play Jamie Bottomley. Yeah. Stephen Gill
You just drag someone a lot lower.
will play the winner between Kevin and Si.
Probably so. You need the strike out.
It's going to be close.
What lane is it?
Seeing as though they've still got a couple of frames to go on 1 and 2. It's finished on on 5 and 6. Lee Cocker goes through with a 408 against a 353-2 for Rob Felby. So Felby's out, Cocker goes through.
I think Kevin's through.
Kevin with the strikes here, I think, is ooh.
He's not 60 up.
He was 50. He was 50 something up. That doesn't help. Yeah. Kevin Mellon will go through here. 80. Yeah. Just.
10,
Had enough of a cushioning from first game. So Swede will go through in there against one of the local boys. He's even wearing the Stroud Pole shirt. 2:26 to finish. So what's the actual finishing scores there? Move out of the way. 427. It's 408. 19 pins in it. $19 win for Kevin.
It's the Ray Rod situation.
It is incredibly close. It was close after game 1. 420. What did I do? 19 pins was the difference. 189 and 226. 189 for Kevin and 226 for Simon. Yes, that sounds right. It's finished between Hadley and Jack down there. Let's get back down to 1 and 2. We'll move the camera over as well, I think. Give you a bit of a better viewing. I apologise for shaking you straight away. Watch your head there, see? On 180 to finish for Paul Moore. Spare there from Paul Moore's reaction. I think that might be him out. Yeah, 398. Plays 420, 424. So that's Ray Teese going through. Alright then, so who's playing over here then? We've got Dom versus Jamie. Stephen Gill versus Stephen Gill versus Kevin Mellon, sorry. Ben Robinson versus Ray Teese. Yeah. 7 and 8. Hadley versus Lee Cocker as well, so good matchups yet again. Can see that one being high scoring. Hadley Morgan versus Lee Cocker. We'll stick with the same stream then as they change. Let's go back to this camera in the middle of the centre. We'll bring the phone camera over. But yeah, can do. But what lanes are being used? 5 through to 12. Yeah, bring it into. What? 7 and 8. Let's bring the cameras over. Need to reshift. Yeah, Steve's done. Steve's my favourite.
Right, 5 minutes practice both sides. Press the buttons on the controllers though.
Right then, game 2 of the match play. Every lane is righty versus lefty. The Ryder Cup of bowling. Well, it's not really because that's the Weber Cup, but we'll class it as it. Righties versus lefties. Every lane. Lee Cocker versus Hadley Morgan here, and Cocker with 8 to start on lane 10. Ben Robinson. Nice strike from him on 7 and 8. Obviously on the fresh again here on 7 and 8 with no left-hander. Righties versus lefty every lane.
We were just discussing it. Some people saying like it's a lefty centre.
Well,
Is it
now you're gonna find out. If all 4 lefties go through, especially if Jamie goes through against Dom.
lefties are good.
Right. It's not that.
Against Dom, who does that?
No, I know. If you're gonna open anywhere, if you're gonna open anywhere though, you want it first frame of the first game out of 2 though, don't you?
He's lulling you into a false sense of security.
Yeah, that's it. Let him relax a bit. Spare for Raytis. Oh, 7, 10 on 11 and 12 for Don Barrett.
Double tap.
Yeah, that's well slanted, that camera angle.
That's rubbing salt in the wound. Dom getting frustrated. Jamie having absolute rubbing stuff. That's good. Ben's getting going again.
I'll tell you what, advantage Jamie now in that match. It's only 2 frames in. Yeah. Don't think it is now. I can see Dom striking here. Oof. Oh, not coming back. That's what Ray T's fought there on 7. Another 8 for him. And first ball coming for. Strike now for Stephen Gill. We've said it before at the end of the first match. On fire, Stephen at the moment. Shot massive in the 4-game qualifier. He was only just above the cut line from the actual qualifiers yesterday. Shot massive. Got 5th seed from that 4-game qualifier. Shot a 505 in the last match play against Brandon Roberts. Kevin looks like he's in now. 3 from him.
Dom's in the hole.
What? I've not actually properly watched the shot of Kevin's, but from what's been put there, Kevin looks like he's throwing back up on the left hand side, is he? Yeah, he is then, Brian, according to Paul. So the righty versus lefty challenge on every lane's kind of gone out of the way, hasn't it? Stephen Gill with another strike. But who's going to be the more consistent? Someone bowling it back up or a conventional left-hander? Wait to see, but... Well, that's it, innit? Funding from the nation and stuff like that. Like what they get over in Sweden. Spare for Ben Robinson then in the third frame. Do you know what? Let's go down and watch Kevin here. Yep, back up. Gets the strike, 4 through 4. Oh. It was never a 7-10 that though. It was the ball was never a 7-10 ball. Strike from Stephen Gill, matching him. Just that 9 spare in the first game, but let's remember it's a 2-game match play. It's pinfall across the 2 matches, so there's still a lot to play for here. Still another 16 frames to go for both players in that between Kevin and Stephen, but this could be high scoring. This could be 500 versus 500 here if you carry on like this. Go on, you can hold the microphone if you want. It doesn't really matter, it's a broken part off one of the tops, so it doesn't really matter. What?
Well, the backup bowler left us a 10-pin.
Yeah.
And
Stephen lost the 10 pin. Oh, 7 pin.
both the wrong way round. Both good hits, but just unlucky.
Well,
both spared them.
Well, no, it'd be the other way round, wouldn't it? If that's how it.
But normally.
If he was bowling conventional, 2-handed, you'd say he'd leave a 10 pin more than a 7 pin.
Yeah, that's true.
Comes back.
It's a lot on it.
Don't know what to make of it, personally.
It's
Just
modern bowling, though, isn't it?
Just
Everybody's trying something different.
Just don't know what to make of it. Oh, nice bounce there. Leaves the 10 pin for Stephen. Well, you could look at it both ways because that could have easily been a 4-10. That. I think. Oh, stone 9 for Otis, and there's only one word for that for Chins. Coming towards the end of the first game down there on 11 to 12. It looks like a skew with camera angle. It is a pretty skew with camera angle, in all fairness. It is. Yeah. It's because of the way that I've got it angled in towards these lanes. It just looks like a real skew with. It looks like it's on a slant. Oh well, we'll stay with it. See the ending, see the conclusion. I'm going to move that camera anyway come the end of this. I'd believe in the 4-7-10 there. It'll be an open for him now as well. Miles Lee Cocker back in. Strike for Ben. Ray just can't buy a strike through the first 5 frames. Strike to start the 10th for Don Barrett. There's a 7-10 left, just been left by Stephen Gill, and he was stone in pocket. When Kevin played you, did he bowl conventional or back up?
Yes. He did a bit of both in practice, searching, and then stuck with conventional.
He's back up now.
He's back up now, yes, but he was playing around in practice to find out what was going to work best. On 13 and 14, back up wasn't the play, so 11 and 12 even. Not to be, but he's bowling well now. Went on and on and on.
Just kept going.
I think he might be searching for the carry a little bit.
Well, puts under pressure when you're striking, doesn't it?
Yeah. Strike for Hadley on 9. He's evenly matched on 11 and 12 as well, in all fairness.
Yes, they are now. It's 20 now.
They definitely are now. If Jamie strikes.
Yeah, back to level. Level after game 1.
Well, level-ish. Slight advantage, Dom, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, nice strike from Jamie. And now everybody's rooting for the underdog. Everybody loves an underdog story.
They want to see Don bowl, but they also want to see him beat.
That's how it is, though, isn't it? Yeah. One out of 2 taken from Don Barrett. Finishes with a 234. Scores after every game, or just after the 2. He was inputting them after 1 before, so I don't know if he wants it. Because Don Barrett's just had a 234. Yeah, strike again for Jamie Bottomley. 226. 8 pins in it.
Yeah, game on. Game on.
226 for Jamie. Let's come back. Well, let me move this. Just somewhere around here. closer. Sorry, mate. It's a good job someone was watching, innit? Nice, alright, I'm alright. Just trying to make the camera angle a bit nicer. Let's come back to the middle of the centre then. What's the conclusion to these games? Jamie's gone at double to start the second game. Don Barrett's gone 8 spare in the first frame. Tell you what, advantage Jamie now, you know. Everybody loves an underdog. Oh, and Dom's gone and struck him, Brooke. I'm doing sharing biscuits out here.
Hang your head in,
God, I'm trying to dodge you.
Just coming back again, I think.
Really close on 5 and 6. And maybe don't go back up for this. Oh, he does. Spares it. I thought he might have gone conventional for a spare on the left hand side. Stayed with it, fair enough.
3.
And Don Barrett went Brooklyn as well. On his strike that he had. Yeah, 213. 213 for Lee Cocker. And Hadley misses a single pin. 203. 10 pins advantage for Cocker. 203. Wow. Everybody loves an underdog. Lovely strike there from Cocker. Kevin gets a strike in what should be his pocket, but going back up was Brooklyn. 236 for him in the first game. Strike here makes it 235, a pin in it. If Stephen Gill strikes, let's go to the phone camera behind it. Two pins in it then, so he finishes with 234. That 7-pin moved, but just didn't want to fall. 2 pins in it going into this next game. What a match. But I think at the moment the game that we want to probably see is Jamie versus Dom. We'll go over to it. Definitely go over to it in a second. We just want to see the conclusion of this one in the first game between Ray Teese and Ben Robinson, so we can give you the full roundup after game 1. Strike for Ray. What lane was it where he left his lily? When they come to have a practice. I think it was... Nice strike there for Ben. I swear I've got a slight feeling that it was one of these. I got a feeling it was one of the ones in the middle of the centre. Seven to start for Kevin Mellon here, so could Stephen Gill step in? Oh, Brooke for Ray.
Jamie chopped it.
Is he opened?
Chopped it.
Still got a slight advantage though with a turkey to start, mate. Oh, Stephen Gill steps in.
Very, very deep.
8 there for Ben Robinson. Can Ray finish off strong? Oh, wow. Oh, come. Seeing that? Makes you feel seasick. $224 then for Ben Robinson, plays 185 for Ray Teese. 39 pins, the difference. But there's only one match that we've got to stay with here, and it's got to be Jamie Bottomley versus Don Barrett. Jamie Bottomley, you can only describe him as the underdog, because that is what he is in this match. With the advantage, 5 frames into the second game here. Don Barrett on an open, Jamie Bottomley on a spare. Strike for Dom. Oh, it was lane 13 was where he left it. It was right up the top end of the centre. I thought rubbish me at times. Oof. Messenger just not taking that 10 pin out there for Coco. It was in front, that.
Was it in front?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah. That's usual. Stephen Gill taking an advantage.
Oh, big strike that for Jamie there.
All the others will be rooting Jamie on.
You focus on your own match, really, don't you? You've got to win your match.
You can't keep it out of your.
But you've got to win your match to be in contention. If Jamie beats Dom, you've got to be, you've got to win yours first.
You can't help it. Look over and see it. Though.
What do we go to? I think is it 5 and 6 and 9 and 10. Yeah, semi-finals will be on 5 and 6 and 9 and 10. So then we can go to 7 and 8 for the final. Ooh, Messenger takes the 10 pin out for Don Barrett. It's a double for him now after an open in the 5th. It was 8 pins, wasn't it? 8 pins lead for Don after the first game. Don currently sat on 102. Jamie currently sat on 116. Obviously Dom on a double, Jamie on a strike. Oh, it's a strike for Jamie. Literally everybody applauding, cheering, everything in for Jamie here. Just reports from elsewhere, and then 3 and 4, the backup polling from Kevin seems to not be working now. Open the first 2 frames, and Kevin and Stephen Gill has gone front 4 there in that match. Honestly, he's my favourite. He's the one I'd be putting my money on. Oh, wash out for Dom. I'm telling you, my money's on Stephen Gill in this.
Wouldn't bet against it all day. Just watching him get
The front-
progressively better.
That 4-game qualifier was unreal. He has a 5:05 in the first two. I mean, sometimes being the bike can be a pain. Might be seeing it here. Home time at Hero. Had the Morgan getting cheered on here from Paul. 9 for Jamie, but with the washout from Dom, it's give him that cushion to get the 9 there. And only 2 taken from Dom there as well, so it's an open for Dom Barrett. He has an 8-pin lead going into this game. He's had 2 splits. As Dom Barrett. Oh, single pin miss from Jamie Bottomley now. Nobody wants to win it. It's 163 plays 121. Strike for Dom Barrett as well in that frame. Jamie strikes here. Oh, strike for Jamie. Has that won it? He had a 34. He's got a 34-pin lead, Jamie. Matches him.
Matches him is home and dry.
Well, easy, yeah, it's true. Dom needs to go out. Dom needs to go out on the sheet. That's it now. That's it now. Dom Barrett will be out. And the underdog story. Jamie Bottomley. A 145 for Dom Barrett. I think there'll be a few PBA players, if they're watching this, they'll be turning around and go and get a tournament at Stroud. 145. I'll go over and get official scratch scores and official series ones. Spare for Jamie. That's past deal. So I can get the thingy scores for your spreadsheet. Excuse me, mate. Do you know what? I think that's one of the first times I think I've seen emotion on Jamie's face there. You can see he was buzzing. Does he know he's got a shot to bowl?
I don't think he does.
Does Jamie know he's got a shot to bowl? Yeah? He's noticed now. He does now. Jamie then, the final shot. I was never coming back from there. It's a 2:01 to finish then, so it's a 4:27, plays 3:79. 427, 379. Is in for the game or for the series?
Is that 2-0 straight?
201.
2-0-1, 145.
Should be 427. 379. Right, then finish on that. Then let's change the camera over to a game that was close first game. What's closest to be finishing? Oh well, it's got. I know it's wrapped up, but Steve's on for a 300. So.
Oh yeah. Go back in there when he's on the 10th frame.
Nah. It's just. Do you know what, right? I know one really shouldn't take sides, but the fact that he's gone to backup bowling against Stephen, I'm kind of glad Steve's won. Just for the integrity of the sport.
Steve doesn't put a lot on it though, doesn't he? It's such a powerful shot.
Oh, yeah. And do you know what he said at the start of the day? Oh, my thumb's a bit bruised. Cocker with a strike there. That one's... It's going to be close. There was 10 pins in it. Into the finger. He's... Huh?
It's a strike. Who are you looking at? Hadley?
Yeah.
Yeah, strike. Keep him 10 up.
That's it. It's going to be close, that one. I'll switch to it in the 10th frame. We've got to watch Stephen Gill's shot here. Still on for the magic 3. Well, that's that one over, so...
So was that the second you started watching it?
Yep. Curse of the camera, mate. It's a thing on riding the ditch.
He didn't even know that.
Until he probably heard me say it on comms. Oh, that's wide from Ray. Yep. 210 left.
So many 210s.
Oh, weekend. 210s, 2 810s. It's been unreal. Nice spare from Stephen Gill on 6.
Wide, but you got away with it.
Good mixer. Hadley's got to spare this. He's missed a single pin as well before. Spares that.
You look at what Ben's just struck from, and you're realising after looking at Ray, but Ray is splitting hairs with that ball right now. And Ben's got a good 3 or 4 balls more on the lane than
Yeah.
Ray does. So it's not even that like any of them are playing badly. They're both playing fantastic in terms of their consistency.
Ray's just got to be a bit more pinpoint.
It's literally just Ben has a much better look than Ray does. And then you can agree that the scores are just telling you how much of a difference that makes, no matter how good of a bowler they are.
And that, I think, is the difference why Stephen Gills ran away with it in this game, and Kevin bowling back up. Let's be honest, if you're bowling it back up, you've not got as much as a pinpoint accuracy.
Well, I mean, unless you're Carl Eklund, but that guy's a machine. If you know who that guy is, he's a...
Yeah, I know who he is. I still don't exactly agree with bowling it back up when you've bowled it conventional as well. You either choose one of the styles and that's what you should have to stick with.
Well, it's interesting because I was wondering this the other day, and it makes me wonder if a lot of the Swedes do this, because most of the two-handed Swedes practice back up all the time. I wonder if they actually have a ball that's drilled as a left-hander, like along that axis, and they just have it sitting in their bags. If they want to go back up, they actually can just switch to a lefty-drilled ball. I always wonder that. Because we've all had our own bowling ball before. We've tried to throw it on the other side, and it's looked like the worst ball motion we've ever seen in our lives.
I can't really say that I've tried to bowl the ball back up because I just don't want to break my wrist.
Maybe that's what I've been doing wrong all this time.
So semi-final sets.
Oh.
Left-hander.
Is it 4 lefties?
Well, now if there was anybody that was going to put the argument of Stroud to lefty centre, it's going to come up now, isn't it?
Oh, here we go. Happens again. this is. I mean, this. Just,
I can't. I'm not going to say anything because I kind of disagree with the comment, but
I mean, look, you've got to give it to them as well. The top 4, they are absolutely cracking bowlers.
yeah. But the thing is,
That
though,
you
right?
can't take away from them.
You can't. You can't moan when you look at the scores anyway.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at most of the matches anyway, lefty over right side, all the matches have been close.
Yeah,
in
that's
their own way.
that's what I mean.
It's like if it.
I mean, there Cocker's shot a 213 and then a 2-0.
I mean,
So he's
it's only
13
'cause he missed
over.
for 9 as well, so that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
210. That was only 10 behind.
Yeah, I know
So if
that.
anything, that match is gonna. If Lee got the 9, that match is basically equal.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so
Two shot 500.
Again,
again,
505, 500.
Jesus.
Ridiculous in the 4-game qualifier.
Good shot.
He's. Do you know what? Right, if it had shown up yesterday, could he have challenged top seed?
I think so. If it's based on how he's doing.
That's
it.
1,000 off 4 games.
Yeah. Didn't he get like 528 in the first set as well? It was over 5, was it?
I don't know what he had. I don't know what he had in the what for the first
Yeah, for the
first one of match play. 505.
505.
Yeah, 505.
I mean, that's a solid.
Do you know what? We'll see what he gets on the next one, and if he beats 1480 whatever at Dom's shot,
Yeah. That's a top seed performance. Bro, imagine how much money he would have won on squad winners yesterday. If only he'd done this yesterday, he'll be kicking himself.
he's cursing that there's no
cursing
brackets
himself.
in the match play.
He'd be a rich man right now.
Well, it carries on, and he'll be a rich man anyway for winning it.
Good point.
I can't remember what the prize fund was.
I think I heard it was
Two.
about 12 in total, like 12 grand or something.
Oh yeah, but what was it for first prize?
2,000.
$2 grand, wasn't it? Yeah, I thought it was.
Trouble is, he needs 15 games to win.
People say it's left-handed centre, but only 7 to 16 at the top are left-handed. 9 right.
That's a good point. That is a good point.
But how many left-handers was he in the competition? Was there 16?
That's it.
Craig Parker just missed out, and he was a left-hander.
Oh, I just missed out. You had David Cooper who did the Despo yesterday. That was
Oh yeah,
interesting.
yeah. Because he was on the same pair as me in the last squad. Apparently, well, he wouldn't have made the squad. He wouldn't have made the cut anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
He's right here. He just heard his name and was like, "What?"
Oscar, I can do my name. What was that?
Yes. Yeah. Same.
Same but different.
Yeah.
Only nice things, guys. Only nice things.
They're just comparing injuries.
Would we say anything else?
See you tomorrow. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Just take it.
Just comparing injuries.
Oh, I can compare injuries all day.
Yeah, I know.
I think it's most interesting.
What's happened?
Yeah, we've both had multiple year-long wrist issues.